Welcome back to Network African. Now, 2 days after a court heard a case put forward by former Uganda opposition leader and former Prime Minister Mama Mbabazi, there's been a break-in. Two offices of lawyers representing the former Prime Minister Mama Mbabazi reported that their offices were raided overnight. Mohamed Mbabazi, the lead counsel for Mr. Mbabazi, confirmed that his laptops, computers and documents were taken from his office. That's in one case, and a security guard was also beaten up by the burglars. The other law firm broken into belongs to Fred Muwema, and similar items were taken. Police are currently investigating the matter. Well, for more on this case, we go live to Uganda, where Joshua Poro, a journalist, is standing by. Joshua, thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa.
Surely welcome.
Now, this break-in is raising a lot of eyebrows, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's raised more than eyebrows in the country. It has sent us in a state of panic. We are not sure anymore whether we can trust the kind of government that is running this country today, because there have been so many allegations by Mama Mbabazi himself saying that the people who raided his lawyers' offices were donning on police uniforms and carrying AK-47 guns, which are trademark guns for the forces in this country, both the UPDF, which is the Uganda's People Defense Forces, and the Uganda Police at the same time. So if all these people were putting on uniforms, we can't be sure if they were actually policemen, because police in Uganda can always simply hire out police uniforms for a night at just $60 only. It's quite cheap to get someone to give you a police uniform. So it's raised more than eyebrows. People are actually scared, and now they do not think that justice will be served at the end of the day if the documents that were stolen include affidavits that were sworn by witnesses to the electoral practices in Uganda. And also, to put it across, most of the witnesses who had sworn affidavits, of course, to give their testimony to court, have been arrested and sent to jail. Others, their whereabouts are unknown, but just to be sure, they have not been charged with any crimes.
Now, based on what you just said, Joshua, about the arrests and, you know, the documents that are crucial that might have been taken, how do we expect things to play out come Monday, when I believe the proceedings were supposed to continue?
Well, of course, now the legal team has to find new ways of handling this entire process. You cannot just be too sure about what is going to happen. But Mama Mbabazi's legal team now has to sit back or sit down, look at their backup points or get backup copies for any of the documents that have so far been stolen. But at this point, we cannot be so sure what is going to be their next step. But of course, we have to realize that civil society organizations within the country have come up to clearly and very, very vehemently condemn this entire act. They are saying Uganda is now being turned into a police state, where the police basically take charge of everything. We have military patrolling the streets all over the place. So we do not know, or we can't at this point tell the next point of action for Mbabazi and his lawyers in this electoral petition. But the U.S. Embassy in Uganda did tweet and said that the government of Uganda should allow justice to prevail in the system. And Mama Mbabazi himself said that he knows all of these judges in person, and he trusts them and believes that justice is going to prevail in this entire case.
Now, final question: what are the authorities saying? Are they updating you on what's happening with the investigation?
Well, first of all, just to make it clear, when the owners of these offices realized in the morning that their offices had been broken into, police took a very long time to come to the premise and cordon it off like a crime scene.
Yes.
It took them about 5 hours to just do that. And yet, if this was a government institution, it would have been an entirely different factor. Secondly, when Mama Mbabazi went in to meet his team of lawyers, he was denied access to these members of the team. And of course, the government spokesperson of Poro did say that this is a game plan. It's actually a trick it's an in-house plan is what I should call it. The entire thing is in-house, where Mbabazi and his lawyers decided to stage this kind of attack to win public sympathy and say that government is fighting against the entire case, and of course they cannot expect justice to prevail if this is how they are being treated. But of course there has been a lot of backroar from members of the public telling Ofono Pondo, who is the government spokesperson, to clearly act maturely. Mbabazi said he will not respond to any allegations laid by Ofono Pondo because Ofono Pondo is behaving like a child. Now Ofono Pondo is the government spokesperson, so government is entirely quiet, but the public is up and making a lot of noise, and the only thing police can tell you is the case is under investigation. Until when will it be under investigation? We do not know, because the court has to deliver a ruling by the 1st of April, as it is stipulated in the Constitution, that the case must be disposed of within 30 days.
Well, Joshua Poro, thank you so much for giving us the latest. We'll reach out to you as this case develops. Thank you very much. Now, the United Nations has also issued a warning as regards the increasing hunger and malnutrition in Ethiopia due to the long-standing drought triggered by the El Nino weather pattern. Here's what the Food and Agriculture Organization Sub-Regional Coordinator for Eastern Africa had to say.
This is dirty water and people are drinking it. So it's not only going to affect their lives, but the diseases that goes along with it, because they are drinking water from the same pond where animals defecate, where animals are drinking. So our appeal to the international community is to support development organizations like FAO.
And finally, here's what you had to say when we asked you yesterday how you thought the President Jacob Zuma's visit to Nigeria will play out. Our top 3 feedbacks are coming from Jay Sello. He says, I see him committing to fight the increased insurgency. The visit is leaning towards that. The next feedback is coming from Korea Plus International, who says, I think President Zuma's ideas and words can be a plus if properly implemented without sentiment. The third and top feedback of the day is coming from James Alaba Alabi. He says, I think it's important we query the insecurity concerns of Nigerians in South Africa. We'd like to say a big thank you for your feedback, and please keep them coming. On that note, here's our question of the day. What do you think about the break-in into the offices of Mbabazi's lawyers? That's in Uganda. Feel free to send us your feedback either via email or Twitter. The address and handles will appear on your screen right now. Those are that's the address and handles. Thank you so much for watching Network Africa on Channels Television. I'm Cynthia Are.